Hello everybody, today we're going to be doing some more Subarashiki Hibi. Today we're going to be looking into this massive scene. I've read quite a bit of this yesterday, if I'm going to be honest. I just skimmed through it because I was really interested. It was just one of the times where I couldn't put the story down. But my god, this scene has so much to unpack. So yeah, we're just going to go through it slowly. We're going to see what the hell was going to happen. And yeah, I'm honestly really excited for it. I just want to look at the context of it a bit. Yeah, my god, we were seeing Tomosane completely defeated, which was a contradiction. What my prediction is for this scene is it's going to be something that immensely changes Tomosane. It's going to be the catalyst for what happens at what happens on, I want to say, July the 18th. I'm not entirely sure the date, but obviously the date where Kagami is completely violated and tortured. That day. The day where he shows just how much he has been fighting and how much he has been preparing for that certain event. And I suppose it kind of has relevance to all of the story, really. Yuki is the person who drives change in Tomosane. Here, Tomosane can't do anything, but Yuki is the one that is moving him and propelling him forward. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so even though, I suppose because of the fact, it's really weird because he doesn't objectively have wounds, but the only thing is obviously because he's in his head, Yuki is a person who is also in Tomosane's head. Because of the fact that Tomosane is wounded, it's as if the head is another reality. It really is. So I suppose it does make sense. Yeah, no, that's reasonable. You should go to another doctor's if that happens, my god. Yeah. I really do wonder if that could have any associations with trauma. I really do. But, yeah, I find that interesting. So I find it interesting to think about the fact that she says initially the reason he can't move is because he was beaten by Takuji, but I think that's what, even though that is completely false, I think what she's trying to emphasize there is just the fact that something happened, you can't deny it, you need to work on it, really, and you need to use it as an opportunity to change, rather than just totally looking blind to it. But it's interesting that she tries to make the most of Tomosane's naivety here, if you like, just because of how much she wants, I suppose, him to rise up against Takuji. I mean, even if she's the most selfish person in the world, it's still within her best interest. So, I mean, if she's not doing it for Tomosane's sake, she's doing it for her own. It is weird that, it really is. Where are we?
道場裏じゃない。よく練習したでしょ?
The dojo, specifically the back door. We used to train here, remember?
いや、知らない。というか、ここどこなんだ?
No, I don't. Besides, where is this, really?
マミヤの道場だよ。懐かしいでしょ?
Mamiyaの道場? それって父方の田舎、沢井村にあるあの古武道の道場か?
I find it interesting that Takuji doesn't remember the training in the dojo that he used to do, even though he remembers where the dojo is. Mamiya's dojo? You mean our father's martial arts dojo, out in the countryside?
それだよ。
Yeah, that's the one.
懐かしいとかいう問題より、なんでそんな場所に?
It's nostalgic and yet he doesn't even remember a single thing about it, sure. Sure, it's nostalgic or whatever, but more importantly, why are we here? I mean, shouldn't it take like
東京から何時間かかるんだって感じ?
hours and hours to get here from Tokyo?
ああ、気軽に来れる場所じゃないだろう。なんでいきなり?
Yeah, it's not the kind of place you can come to on just a whim. Why are we here all of a sudden? Well, they aren't truly here, and if anything, I mean, let's be honest, they're not physically there, it's just the fact that, if you ask me, this is a significant location that inside their heads, well, it's just a location that's cemented within their heads. So it does kind of make sense that if they have such an imagination, that they can quite literally imagine other people being there. When I say they, I'm more referring to Takuji here. It doesn't surprise me that he can completely imagine the fact that he is somewhere. And then again, I mean, I suppose you could tie into the fact that this may be a dream as well. I mean, let's be honest, Tomosane's consciousness has been just pulled out from the levels of being unconscious. So, I suppose... Well, no, then again, I mean, his consciousness isn't within the depths of subconsciousness. It's more just going to the surface. So I find it weird that, if anything, his consciousness has just been pulled from the from the depths, and he's not in reality. He's in a dreamlike state. Because you would have thought if the subconscious has been pulled up to the surface, you would be experiencing the real world. Not the subconscious, sorry, the unconscious state has been pulled up to the state in which you have consciousness but you're only at the surface level. That's a bit weird. Then again though, it kind of reminds me of Yuki, i.e. the other Yuki, the one that this Yuki here is totally controlling. She became... Well, when she became conscious, all of the... Well, when she became conscious and her subconscious was lifted to the surface, I suppose she was only... even though it was as if she was existing, it was... She looked as if she was dormant, as if she was just standing there. So I suppose it does take a little bit of time for the consciousness to actually come into play. I don't really know. It's a bit odd. I'll see if we can get any more explanation on it and then come back to that thought, actually.
そうだね。さて、なんででしょうか?
I know what you mean. Why do you think? She's not explicitly
俺
telling
の
us.
意識がない間に、今度はどれぐらいの時間を?
We travelled here while I was unconscious. How long was I out this time?
どのくらいだと思う?
Well, I mean, you would have thought several hours.
いや、よくわからないが、そんな長い時間のような感じはしなかったな。
I'm not really sure, but it doesn't feel like it was that long.
それってどのくらい?
Oh, really? How long do you think then?
一晩というには長すぎる。でも丸一日、時間的にはそんな感じがする。
A night, or maybe a little longer? I'd say about a whole day. That's about how long it feels like.
にもかかわらず、 自分を取り巻く状況が一変しているので驚いている。
And yet you're shocked to find that you've been transported to a faraway place. Yeah, it doesn't fully add up. I see that.
どういうことだ。
Yeah, that about sums it up. So what's going on?
さて、どういうことでしょうか。
I love that she's not saying a single thing. I don't know. What do you think is going on?
それよりさ、体どう？ちゃんと動く？
Alright, how's your body feel? Can you move yet? What I find really interesting about this is the fact that it's as if all of this is to our total interpretation. No answers are being given. I'm kind of suspecting a theme of... Yeah, of independence here. You're not having any answer told to you. You have to figure them out yourself. And if anything, I mean, your reality can't be created upon truths that other people tell you. You have to make them yourself. Maybe that could be it? Because, I mean, it would make sense of Tomosane and Yuki as well, because Yuki has been guiding Tomosane ever since, well, he came into existence. Alright, how's your body feel? Can you move yet?
体。お、そういえば。
My body? Oh, you're right. Before, I could hardly move my body at all, but now I could move it normally. That's weird. It was like I had forgotten how to move my body. Sorry, my limbs. Or maybe like my entire body was weighted down with lead. That kind of feeling. That feeling was like...
まるで？何？
God, it's so creepy that Yuki can read every single thought that Tomosane has. Like what? What's it like? That's right, this particular feeling of unreality.
1日か2日。細かいことはよくわからないが、その程度の時間でこんな場所に立っている可能性よりもむしろ。
I find it really weird that when he realizes the truth of where he is standing, and the fact that this doesn't necessarily equate to reality, he can move again. But then again, I suppose it kind of makes sense, because beforehand he thinks that he's been defeated by Takuji and he's been really, really beaten and destroyed. So I suppose he thinks that what happens in, quote-unquote, the real world, dude, it's still going inside his head, but what happens there is different to what happens here. And Tomosane was pulled out from the unconscious. So I suppose... maybe these are just... I don't know, that is actually really unusual. Because that doesn't make full sense. I mean, it's just like me trying to explain... I don't know... some sort of principle in a subject I really don't know about. I've got no clue about any of the science behind this. I mean, I don't really study this kind of stuff, so... yeah... it's a bit tricky for me. In just a day or two. I don't know exactly how much time has passed, but it doesn't seem like I could actually be standing here, so maybe... but yeah, you realise the truth of your world, so... and the fact that you can't actually be standing here, this is potentially a dream. So then, the world changes around you.
ここは夢の中か。
Is this a dream? A dream? Is this a dream?
正解。冴えてるね。
Bingo, you're smarter than you look.
この独特の身体感覚のおかしさは夢のそれだ。だが、
This weird feeling in my body is just like a dream, but...
何かおかしい？
Huh? Is something wrong? What's different? Well, I mean, in a dream... yeah, in a dream, how do you realise that it's a dream? Can't quite put my finger on it.
夢にしては意識がはっきりしすぎてる。
Yeah, totally.
目覚めているような いや、それ以前に夢の中でははっきりと夢であるとここまで意識したことなんかない。
It's like my consciousness is too clear for this to be a dream. It's like I'm really awake. Yeah, I agree, yeah. And besides, I've never been aware that I was dreaming while the dream was still going on before. Yeah.
そうだね。夢ってもう少し不条理だよね。自分の思考も見える風景も。まあ、ここで私がすっぱだかだったりしたらそれっぽいかな。
Oh god, Skaggy became horny while writing this. Let's go. I know what you mean. Dreams should be a bit silly, right? Your thoughts and everything you see would be a bit off kilter. Yeah, reasonable. Off kilter? Such a weird phrase. What does it mean? Not in the usual expected or correct condition or state. Right. Yeah, that fits here. What would you believe it was a dream if I was naked right now? Yes.
その程度なら
You're welcome to try it.
んなわけないだろ。
I'm impressed. As if.
何言ってる。他人に見えないからってスカートめくってたやつが。
Yeah, I was thinking, did she even remember the sex that... Sorry, did Tomosane even remember the literal... Well, somebody call it self-cessed that they had. But does he even remember that? That's my question. What's your deal? You're the one who was doing that a few days ago.
パンツとすっぽんぽんは全然違うわ。パンツなんて単なる布じゃん。
Yeah, like I said before, try justifying that in court.
そんなことはどうでもいい。それより、ここはもしかして。
Who cares about that? Anyway, are we in
明晰夢か。
A lucid dream? Yeah, it's reasonable. Yeah, but that's really weird. Yeah, I wonder if you could say this. So, with Takuji, if you let the burden of Takuji completely rising up and potentially destroying you crush you, you are going to be the one who is weighted down with lead. You're not going to be strong. But if you then perceive your reality differently, because of the fact that it's happening all in your head, I wonder if this could be... it could just be emphasized... What the fuck? Oh no, not this. Yeah, maybe it could just be emphasizing the... Where was it? Yeah, here. Yeah, maybe that could be linked. God, I was having a moment there where I was really passionately explaining my thoughts, and then just one shitty mistake with my mouse. It ruined it. Yeah. Let's be honest, everybody's just going to say that they wouldn't want to believe it's a dream. Well, then again, I mean, it kind of depends on the context. Yeah. A lucid dream?
お、ご名答。よく知ってるね。
Oh, that's interesting. So when you realise how to control it, you can. Or at least you can attempt to.
いや、詳しくは知らない。ただ聞いたことがある程度だ。
No, I really don't know much about them. I've just heard other people talk about them. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
そうなんだ。説明は？
Do you want me to explain?
参考程度に聞いておこうか。
For future reference, I suppose.
そうだね。どういうことで起きているか知っておくのは重要かもね。
We don't have
あ
a
なたのや
choice.
る気ならば。
Sure, it's important that you know what's really going on. At least if you feel up to it.
やる気？
Up to what?
まあいいや。明晰夢はね、簡単に言えばコントロール可能な夢、意識された夢。
Oh, don't worry about it. Anyway, lucid dreams are, well, to put it simply, it's a dream that you can control, one that you're completely aware of.
脳みその前頭葉と海馬。まあ思考とか意識とか長期記憶を司る場所やね。
The frontal lobe and hippocampus in your brain. Just think of them as the parts that control thought, consciousness, and long-term memory. Yeah, he could ask you spoilers, but I remember hearing the frontal lobe being... Right, like, the entirety of Higurashi is just casually going to be spoiled here, but Hinamizawa syndrome and how the parasites attack the frontal lobe and that affects people's decision-making and all of the... It just affects their composure to retain... So, oh my fucking god, their ability to retain composure as well. But what does the frontal lobe actually do? I remember I heard there were... I know this... I do not know, luckily. But I've seen some cases with people who are psychopaths who have brain damage and their frontal lobes are... I don't know if they're naturally born damaged or if something has happened in order to make them damaged, but that's a cause of their lack of sound mind. So higher cognitive functions including decision-making, problem-solving, thought and attention. Yes, if your frontal lobe is screwed, your entire life is awful and your life is going to be infinitely more difficult. Yeah. I didn't realise problem solving was a function of the frontal lobe though. That's quite cool. What does a hippocampus do? What the fuck is a pyramidal cell? I've never heard of that. Oh wait, it says here. Some multipolar... What? Neurons that have excitatory and projective functions. I don't know any of this. Right, that's a bit too advanced for me. Memory, learning and spatial awareness. So they do go hand in hand, I suppose, because you learn. So I suppose you learn, you become spatially aware, and you have memory, and then you use what your hippocampus stores with your frontal lobe in order to solve problems and what was the other one? Solving problems and decision making as well. You could technically, because you learn how to make decisions, you remember... Let's say, for example, I trip down the stairs while holding a really heavy dumbbell, I don't fucking know. I'm then going to have that memory stored in the hippocampus, potentially, so that I don't do it next time, and maybe that will influence the decision my frontal lobe makes. So I do wonder if they could link like that. I don't know, this is just me thinking about it, but I don't actually know anything about this. Biology is too disgusting for me. I do maths and physics. I do geography, but not biology, no way. I suppose geography does have a few biological links, but not too many. Actually, it does have quite a few, but not fully in depth, just the basic concepts at A level at least. The frontal lobe and hippocampus in your brain. Just think of them as parts that control thought, consciousness, and long-term memory. So the frontal lobe is decision making and problem solving, whereas hippocampus is memory retention and also learning.
起きていた時に見たり聞いた情報を整理する前段階。まあつまるところ、夢見てる時に 前頭葉を半覚醒状態にさせ、海馬と連携させることによって夢をある程度コントロール可能にさせる状態のこと。
Oh, that's interesting. That's fucking weird. When you're awake, those parts process the information you see and hear. Yeah, okay, that makes sense, yeah. And when you're dreaming, you can partially wake up your frontal lobe and then it can control your dreams in cooperation with your hippocampus. That's so weird, though. Yeah, but I suppose the hippocampus, that makes it so that the lucid dreams are... No, actually, hang on a second. I was going to say that makes it so that the lucid dreams are particular to you and they're things that you would only see, and obviously they're derived from your memory. But the thing is, I mean, the whole principle of dreams and why they're so weird is they're things that you would never even see normally. That's so weird. Wait, let's just see if I can find anything. Alright, so it involves a level of control and awareness not particularly present in typical dreaming. Maybe that's because the frontal lobe is partly woken up? Wait, I wonder if this article was written for idiots. Oh my fucking god, this article's long. I can't read that. Right, let me just see if I can find anything. Okay, let's see. Wait, no, hang on a second. This isn't actually what I'm looking for. So to be honest, I just looked at it and I didn't really get much on how the frontal lobe and hippocampus, they work together, but apparently there's this thing called... I'll show you what I'm looking at the moment, actually. Okay, so I did a bit of research, and there's this thing called the REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement sleep, and when it seems like when you go to sleep, sometimes your brain can be in a state that's more active than it usually would be. I suppose, I mean, I would assume from personal experience, whenever I play video games and then I go to bed, it's much harder to get to sleep just because your brain feels way more stimulated because of the fact that it's played a video game, and then it's just gone from a period of high activity to a period of rest. And it's just so sudden and it's hard to do. So I do wonder if that could induce the REM. But what also happens is then... the parts of the brain that contemplate, what does it say here? Yeah, so brain activity, yeah. So, so the parts that are active during metacognition, so that's just, let me just fully, so the awareness of one's thought process and the understanding. I suppose the ones that make... the parts that make the thought process occur, they're more active during lucid dreaming, which I find is really, really unusual. And I suppose that could then be the frontal lobe and the hippocampus right there. It says the prefrontal cortex. I don't know if that's a different thing or not. Wait. Oh, here we go. Dude, answer my fucking question. Alright, okay, so the prefrontal cortex is a part of the frontal lobe. Right, and that's the main decision-making and problem-solving part. Yeah, so that's really interesting. And then what Yuki is saying here... Yeah, but they're in cooperation, though. That's so weird. That does make sense, though. Yeah, I mean, from what I've just, the REM related stuff and the increased brain activity, I think so. But the only thing is, it just genuinely feels so contradictory. How can you be in a state of feeling as if, I mean, you objectively feel like you are being asleep, so even though your brain is actually active and it's making instructions happen. You don't feel them whatsoever. But then again, I mean, I suppose your brain has to be active. How would... To be fair, that is actually a really good question. How active is the brain during sleep? Because, I mean, if the brain shut down, my question is, would it ever be able to wake up? Oh my fucking god. Questions lead to more questions. Right, so... Right, does the brain function when we sleep? Your brain and body stay remarkably active while you sleep. Recent findings suggest that sleep plays a housekeeping role that removes toxins in your brain that build up while you are awake. God, that's weird. Sleep's biological purpose remains a mystery. More responsive to internal stimuli than external stimuli. That's interesting. Yeah, that's and sleep is a state of unconsciousness. So I suppose if when somebody is sleeping, if you made it so that... So what would happen if somebody was sleeping and then somebody modified their brain in order to be... What would happen if someone's brain was hyper responsive to internal and external stimuli, I wonder? Thousands of neurons in the brain do go to sleep, though. Sleep reinforces the cardiovascular and immune systems and helps regulate metabolism, apparently. And apparently your subconscious mind also takes over when the body recharges. And yeah, brain remains highly active even if it is not in REM sleep. So weird. Yeah, but is that really possible? Oh yeah, my god, so many of the lucid dream research related things had methods where you could actually try to do it. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, I would want to try it, but I don't really know. I just feel like it's unhealthy to have experiences that differ from reality that feel real, because then that could question your actual view of reality. I don't know, it's just I don't. Okay, if you realise it's a dream, sure, but if you don't, and that's what I'd be fearful of if I tried it, just not being able to realise that my lucid dream was a dream and mistaking it for reality. Just like what Takuji does, if I'm going to be honest.
訓練ということは、これは訓練によって作られた世界なのか?
Practice, does that mean this is a world created through practice?
まあ、そうやね。
I guess so.
偶然の産物ということではないということか。
Coincidental fruits of our labor, I suppose. Yeah.
まあ、コツも必要だよね。例えば夢見てる時に前頭葉が半覚醒状態になると、大体みんな混乱しちゃうからね。
Well, there's a trick to it. Most people get really confused when their frontal lobe wakes up during a dream.
なるほど。混乱か。わかるような気もする。
Yeah, I read that as well. I saw paradoxical sleep paralysis or something like that, where people feel as if even though they are asleep, they are... No, even though they are objectively asleep, they feel awake, which is so fucking weird. How is that even possible? Confusion, huh? I think I understand. When you say partially wake up, it makes me think of sleep paralysis.
夢を意識すると半覚醒状態で自分の体が動かないような錯覚に陥るんだよね。
Yeah, when people become aware of their dreams, they usually feel like they're trapped and can't move their bodies.
いつもの身体感覚と夢の身体感覚の差。 その違和感がさらに加速して海馬の記憶が勝手に自分が寝ている状況を作り出しちゃう。
Yeah, that fits with what I've been seeing as well. Yeah, the difference between their real body and their dream body. That incongruence makes your hippocampus remember that you're sleeping.
目が覚めてないにもかかわらず、作り上げられた状況が勝手に覚醒状況を原始させる。
So even though you're not awake, your brain creates a situation where you believe you're awake.
そうすると心拍数とか上がって息苦しくなって、まあ最終的には目が覚めちゃうわけよ。
Then your heart rate rises, your breathing speeds up, and finally you wake up.
さっきまで俺を襲っていた体が動かないような感触は半覚醒状態独特のもの。
So that feeling from before where I couldn't move my body was because I was in a state of half consciousness.
うん、夢の中なのに現実の体を動かそうとしちゃうんだよね。
Oh yeah. No. I see that. Yeah, I suppose he was trying to move his body in the real world, even though he was in a dream. Yeah, that does make sense. If you just, it doesn't really make sense when you apply it to this because obviously you've got the question of where is the real world for these guys. But then again, I mean, well, no, the real world is Takuji's body. That's what it is. Yeah, because even in the dream, you were still trying to move your real body.
だが俺は目を覚まさなかった。それはお前の能力のためか。
But I didn't wake up. Was that because of your power?
さあどうだろうね。
Who knows?
俺は夢を自由に操ることなんてできない。お前の能力以外では考えられない。訓練したと言ってたじゃないか。
I can't really control my dreams. I can't imagine it wasn't your power. Didn't you say you practiced it?
まあ確かに夢を自覚する訓練っていろいろあるんだけどね。なんでもマレー半島の人たちで昔から独自の方法で明晰夢を見てたって話もあるし。
Well, there are a lot of techniques for becoming aware of your dreams. The people on the Malay Peninsula have been developing their own technique for lucid dreaming for millennia.
間宮拓司による消滅を逃れた手段。意識を封じ込まれた状態でありながら最小限の意識活動が必須。
The technique for surviving erasure at Mamiya Takuji's hands. Even while your consciousness is locked away, you need to ensure a minimal level of consciousness activity. I'm just gonna try and digest all of this. Actually is sleep paralysis, like a full definition. Alright, I see. Temporary muscle weakness and hallucinations when falling asleep or waking up. Right. You cannot move or speak as you are waking up or falling asleep. Weird. Yeah, I see that because I suppose you even though you are awake in the real world, you can't control your body. Yeah, that makes sense. All of this does. The technique for surviving erasure at Mamiya Takuji's hands. Even while your consciousness is locked away, you need to ensure a minimal level of conscious activity. Yeah, so you just go for the next best thing. I see that.
だとしたら、お前のこの能力、明晰夢は最も現実的な能力。
Yeah, no, I totally see that, which means this power, lucid dreaming, would be the most useful skill for you to acquire. I do wonder how much Skaggy actually knows about psychology, and I do wonder how scientifically accurate all of this is. As I do wonder if this is something that actually happens to people who have stuff like DID and their other personalities. You could say that.
ここはお前の夢の中ということか。
Then that must mean that this is your dream.
そうか
Really?
いや、なんで疑問系。
Or is it not?
いやだってさ、これが私の夢とか断言するのってそれおかしくない？
Isn't it a bit hasty to say it's definitely my dream?
あ？何が？おかしいも何も、これはお前が訓練して手に入れた能力なんだろ。
Huh? Why? What's hasty about that? Didn't you practice to acquire this skill?
そうだとしても少しおかしな話だろ？
Yeah, but still, wouldn't that be a bit weird?
何が？
What would?
じゃあ例えばここに葉咲ちゃんがいたら、それって本物の葉咲ちゃん自身かい？
Well, not really. For instance, if Hasaki-chan was here, would that be the real Hasaki-chan?
なんだそりゃ。 そんなわけないだろ。
Yeah, yeah. I agree.
だいたいこんな場所にハサキは出てこない。
Huh? Of course not. Besides, Hasaki couldn't come here.
いや、夢の中に葉崎ちゃんが出てきてもおかしくないだろう。
Because it's something you're imagining. But it wouldn't be that weird if Hasaki-chan appeared in one of your dreams, right?
だからそれは夢の産物だろう。
Yeah.
ハサキ自身が夢に現れることなんてありえない。
But that would just be part of the dream. The real Hasaki could never appear in my dream. Yeah.
だったらさ、この夢が私の夢ならさ、そこに存在するあんたは私が作り出した夢の産物になるよね。
But you
あ
could
んたは
turn the
私
question
が作り
around.
出した幻か？
Then if this is my dream, that would make you just a part of my dream. Yeah, fair enough. Are you an illusion that my brain is creating? But the only thing is he feels as if he is genuinely existing.
待て、俺は幻じゃない。
No, wait, I'm not an illusion.
なら逆かも。これはあんたの夢で、私は存在しない。
Yeah. Interesting that she says sonzai shinai rather than, I don't know, genso maboroshi or something like that. She literally said, I don't exist rather than illusion. Interesting little detail there. Then maybe it's the reverse and I'm the one that's an illusion.
なら逆かも。これはあんたの夢で、私は存在しない。
Yeah.
いや待て、俺はこんなに夢を自由にする能力なんてない。
But then again, Yuki is, so why isn't he? They share the same brain. No, wait, I'm not capable of controlling my dreams like this.
それに俺たちみたいに同じ体を共有している人間にユキの言うことは当てはまらないだろう。
Besides, what you're saying doesn't apply to us, since we share the same body.
そう？それってそんな単純なものかな？
Really, is it that simple?
もし仮にだよ。これを乖離性同一性障害、通称多重人格ではないとするよ。
For example, let's say this isn't dissociative identity disorder, or what most people call multiple personality disorder. Suppose we didn't have that.
はあ？なんだそりゃ。
But then again, I mean, you're looking at a scenario for a different type of person then. Oh, what do you mean?
まあまあ、いいから話を聞きなさい。例えばここに一つの肉体があるとします。
But there is. What? But just listen for a second. For instance, what if there was only one body between us?
この一つの肉体になぜか3つの魂が宿ってたと仮定してみてね。その一つの魂が夢を見るわけよ。
But in that one body, let's suppose that 3 souls had actually taken up residence. Each one of those souls could dream.
その時夢に登場する人物が肉体を共有してないもの。他の肉体にある魂の場合は夢の創作であると断定して。
And when one soul dreams, most of the people in that dream would be people who don't share the same body. So then whose dream is this? If you use that analogy. Let's say those people were just fabrications of a dreaming mind.
肉体を共有している魂の場合はそれは創作ではないとする。
Oh, okay, yeah, fair. And let's assume that the only people in the dream who weren't fabrications were 2 of the souls sharing the same body. Yeah.
なんかおかしくない？
Isn't that a bit weird?
いや、話が単にややこしくなって分かりづらいが、まず魂なんてない。俺たちのは単なる病気だ。
God, you're so honest. That was sort of complicated, so I'm not really sure. First of all, there's no such thing as a soul. We're just the symptoms of an illness.
なるほど。魂なんてないか。まあそうしましょうか。
Oh, I see, so there's no such thing as a soul, huh? Okay, let's start from that assumption.
でもさ、これがどちらかの夢で、どち
Yeah,
らかが実在なんてしてない可能性は残るよね。
but you know, there's still the possibility that this dream isn't mine or yours, and neither of us truly exists.
何が言いたいんだお前。
Yeah, what are you trying to... Yeah, good point.
さーてね。たださ、この世界が誰かの夢だって話なんかしたら、現実だってそんなことになっちゃう。
Well, it's just if you say that this world is someone's dream, then reality could be someone's dream too.
そんなことはない。夢は覚める。覚めない夢ならそれは現実だ。
But the only thing, the weirdest thing about this, these guys literally have the ID. How can you actually deny this? Yeah, but that is really weird because it's as if those souls have entered the dreams and they are physically, well, not physically, but mentally there without the brain making fabrications up. Yeah, so yeah, it does beg the question of whether they're real or not. I can see that. I'm just finding this a bit puzzling here. But then again, I mean, I see this. Yeah, no, I do see this actually.
なるほど。覚めない夢は現実か。この夢も覚めること前提みたいだけど。まあいいわ。
Yeah, logic is totally refuted here. I see, so an endless dream is reality and you assume that you'll eventually wake up from this dream. Okay, if you say so.
それでなんでこんな場所なんだ
So then why are we here?
何がマミヤの古武道場が不満
Why not? You don't like the Mamiya dojo?
いや不満とかないがこの古武道の道場って俺はもとよりお前だって実際に見たことあるわけじゃないんだろ
It doesn't matter to me, but it's not like you and I have ever actually seen the dojo, right?
そうなるのかな確かに多重人格化したのって沢井村にマミヤ拓司が来ただいぶ後だもんね
What a weird village name. You think so? I suppose we didn't develop multiple personalities until quite a while after Mamiya Takuji was in Sawaimura.
なぜマミヤ拓司しか知らない場所を
So why did you pick a place only Mamiya Takuji knows?
そっか夢の中でもあんたはここに見覚えがないか
I guess you don't even recognize this place in your dreams, huh? Maybe it's the significance
当
of
たり
this
前だ
place.
ろう俺が存在し始めたのってほんの2年前だぞマミヤ拓司がここにいたのって10年近く前の話だろ
Of course not. I didn't exist until just 2 years ago, and it's been more than 10 years since Mamiya Takuji stayed here.
まあそうとも言えるけど別にあんたにも記憶があってもおかしくはないでしょ記憶の共有はかなりの率であったでしょ
I guess you could say that, but it would make a lot of sense if you had the same memories, right? Yeah. You share quite a lot of memories with him, don't you?
記憶の共有
Share memories.
特に場所に関わる記憶は共有すること多いでしょ学校の構造とか自宅までの道とかさ共有してなきゃ大変なことばかりじゃない
Oh yeah, that's fair, yeah. Memories about places are always almost shared, right? The layout of the school building, the road home, all of those have to be shared or we get lost all the time, right? Now that she mentions it. Yeah. Place-based memories are always almost shared. And besides that, language, common sense, and other knowledge necessary for day-to-day life. Yeah. Basic normal knowledge a person should have is shared between us. Which means, yeah, I find it odd that he doesn't. Which means that I should have memories about this place too.
けど友実は全くこの場所を覚えていない
But you don't remember this place at all?
ああ全くないな
Yeah, not even so little.
なるほどね全く見覚えがないのかなるほど
I see. So you don't remember it. That makes sense, I guess.
何を納得している
What makes sense?
さあねさてとそんなことよりここで重要な質問があります
Who knows? Alright, more importantly, I have a question for you.
質問
An important question, she said. Did she say 重要?重要な質問?
確認しておきたいことかな
I think she
確
did.
認しなきゃいけないことだな
I guess it's just something I want to confirm. Something I need to confirm.
確認
Confirm what?
そう確認これが私の夢であれあなたの夢であれこの状況を誰かが望まないと起きないのは確かなの
It's as if this place here, by the way, it's somewhere Takuji has deliberately tried to filter out of his memory, if that's the case. Maybe he was abused here. I don't know. Forced to train. Gosh, she's not saying anything as well. That's really interesting. She's not letting Tomosane realise the truth of this situation at all. Yeah, no matter whether this is your dream or mine, this situation wouldn't come about unless someone wanted it to. Someone wanted this to happen?
そう。この場合あんたか私、どちらかが望んだから明晰夢を見ている。ただの夢ならそんなことないけど、明晰夢っていうのはそういうものなの。
Yeah, which in this case means you or me. One of us wanted to have a lucid dream. Normal dreams aren't like that, but you can't have a lucid dream by accident.
Ma, そうなんだろうな。お前が言うのであれば。
Well, if you say so.
次の私の質問にちゃんと答えてよ。
Answer this next question honestly.
質問に
What question?
そう、大事なことだから。
It's really important, alright?
おう、わかった。
Yeah, sure.
まずですな、明晰夢っていうのは見るのは大変なんだけど目覚めるのは簡単。
First off, it's very hard to have a lucid dream, but it's very easy to wake up.
というか、その夢を見続けることも覚めることもどちらでもできるのね。つまり、ここから君は現実に帰ることだってできるわけだ。
But you can either keep dreaming or you can wake up, which means you can go back to reality.
現実に
Reality?
そう。今の状態で夢から覚醒すれば、友実の人格は現実世界に戻ることができる。
That's right, if you wake up now, the Tomosane personality will return to the real world.
そうすれば、現実世界で本物の葉咲ちゃんやバー白宗教のマスターや他のいろいろな人に会うことができる。
If you do that, you can even go talk to the real Hasaki-chan or even Master at Hakuzukyo. She said other people as well.
そうすれば、現実世界で本物の葉咲ちゃんやバー白宗教のマスターや他のいろいろな人に会うことができる。
Yeah, various other people you can meet. Or at least that's what the Japanese said.
その言い方、意味ありげだな。
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, if anything, that kind of indicates the fact that you leave here, you return return to reality, and then you can talk to all of the people that make your world worth living and make it matter. Maybe not the master, but at the same time, I mean, the master has done a lot to look after Hasaki, and I mean, I get that he can be a little bit of a pedo. Let's be honest here. Well, not really a pedo, I should reword that. I mean a perv, but the only thing is... It's really weird. So he's very unacceptable when it comes to fan service scenes, but when it comes to serious nature, he looks after Hasaki, he looks after Takuji's lot. I really do wonder if he has any connections with them. Apart from being a manager, obviously. I mean, he understands Takuji's multiple personalities, though. That's the interesting thing.
そうね。意味ありげよ。だから大事なことだって言ってるでしょ。
Yeah, that's right, I did. I think it's important. Sorry, it's important that you understand that.
ならば俺から尋ねるが、
Yeah.
もしこの夢から覚醒しなければどうなる？
Because like Tomosane said, with his logic, an endless dream can equate to reality.
多分。いや、間違いなく。
Oh,
次あな
so
たが
you
目覚
still
める場
wake
所は
up.
マミやタクジとの最後の戦いの場所になるわね。
Well, I mean, then again, dreams can't be forever. They have to end at some point. And they will forcibly end anyway. Takuji's going to die on the 20th. So, it doesn't have a choice to end. Sorry, on the 19th, but still, you get what I mean. The next time you will wake up, we'll probably know. It will definitely be your last battle with Mamiya Takuji.
最後の戦いの場所。
Last battle with Mamiya.
簡単に言えば、次がマミやタクジと結城智実の最終決戦。
Yeah, to put it simply, the deciding battle between Mamiya Takuji and Yuki Tomosane.
で、それがどんな結果だとしても、結城智実としての最後の目覚めになるでしょうね。
Yeah, so it just seems like such an odd occasion. So you're either remaining in the dream of Yuki, or you're waking up, and obviously if you remain in the dream, you go straight to the battle. If you want to confront, fight, you fight the dream, but if you don't, you make the most of your world. I suppose it's a difference. If you stay in the dream, you try to make it so that you can change the world by obviously training with Yuki as much as possible, but if you leave the dream, you make it so that your contribution to the world is, even though it's going to end, it's going to be remembered and loved by Hasaki. So it's either protect the present or protect the future, and obviously Tomosane is against just living for the present. He wants to live for the future as well. So I think he's going to stay in the dream. And no matter who wins, that will be the last time Yuki Tomosane wakes up.
結城智実としての最後の目覚め。
The last time that Yuki Tomosane wakes up.
今覚醒すれば、目覚めることができれば、智実には現実世界でいろいろなことをする時間が残ってる。
If you wake up now, if you can wake up, then there's still time for you to do what you need to in the real world.
さっきの時間感覚は大体正解。現在は15日。あんたが意識失ったから、大体丸1日ってところ。
You were right earlier. Today is the 15th and you've been out for about a day. Interesting that he instinctively knows that.
今目覚めれば、たっぷりとは言わないけど、
Yeah.
ある程度の時間は残っている。
Before the 20th. If you wake up now, there's still a bit of time
目
left.
覚めなければ。
And if I don't?
次のチャンスはないわね。
Yeah, you won't have another chance.
最後の戦いというわけか。
That's interesting. The final battle, huh?
そうね。理由はわからないけど、
Oh yeah,
彼、
I agree.
何か明確な目的を得たみたいだね。
Yeah, I don't know why, but it seems like he has a clear goal in mind now.
ああ、そうみたいだな。あいつにやられた時に奇妙なことを言っていた。
Yeah, it looks like that way. When we thought he said something really weird.
だから、マミやタクジにとって、智実は全く不必要な人間になったみたい。
Oh yeah.
このまま彼の意志が固まっていけば、それは顕著になる。
Yeah, that's why. You become an entirely unnecessary person in Mamiya Takuji's eyes, and as time passes, his self-certainty will only grow stronger.
明晰夢なんて作り出せること自体、これが最後のチャンス。もしかしたら、この夢が終わったら、最後まで目覚めるチャンスすらないかもしれない。
That's interesting. This lucid dream right now is your last chance. if this dream ends, if this dream ends, you probably won't be able to wake up before the last battle.
なら、なぜ次の目覚めが最後の戦いになるって言えるんだ?
How do you know I'll wake up at the final battle next?
まあ予想の範囲は超えない部分もあるんだけどね。前回の戦いで友実にとどめ刺さなかったでしょ、彼。
Well, part of it is just my intuition, but he didn't finish you off last time, right?
ああ、そうだな。
Yeah, that's right.
とどめを刺さないのなら次もあるのかなってだけなんだけどね。
If he didn't finish you off, that means you two will have to fight again. That's all. Yeah. Isn't it funny to think about the fact that Tomosane's existence is so threatened that the only way out of anything is by having fights with Takuji, and you can either have a fight after training in the dojo, or you can just instinctively wait. Well, you can go out from the lucid dream, and then you will have a very likely appearance again when Takuji's self-confidence is more and more strong, and Tomosane has become more and more redundant. So obviously he will fight Tomosane as a means of proving his self-worth and proving the fact that he can easily beat him. If he didn't finish you off, that means you two will have to fight again. That's all.
だからあくまでもその戦いがあるかどうかすらわからない。
So I guess I can't be certain that there will be a battle.
今ここで目覚めようが、目覚めないで明晰夢の中でとどまっていようが。
Yeah. I agree.
これが最後の時間かもしれない。
But whether you choose to wake up or stay in this lucid dream, this could very well be the last of the time you have left.
これが最後。
So this is the end.
あなたもこれぐらいは知ってるんじゃないかしら。2012年7月20日。
Yeah. You should know it too, right? July 20th, 2012.
予言。
Prophecy.
今から数十年前、間宮拓司すら生まれる前のこと。とある教祖によって予言された世界滅亡の日。
Yeah. Yes, what I find really interesting about all of this is the fact that, why, like what Yuki is saying, why is it necessarily the case that there has to be a battle? Why is it defined? But then again, I mean, when you think about Takuji and when you think about how determined he is, when he finds a goal he wants to dedicate himself to, it doesn't surprise me at all. Several decades ago, before Mamiya Takuji was even born, a religious leader prophesied that the world would end on this day. So I do wonder if the White Lotus Association is just basically everything that Takuji has done, i.e. Mr. Kyusei-shu-sama. Just, it's real, this... Well, no, of course, everything Takuji did was real, but the thing is, it's something that, I don't know, has formed an organisation? The White Lotus Association.
そのあたりのことは知ってるんだ。
You know about it?
知っているわけじゃない。たまたま教室で間宮拓司に触れた瞬間に脳に入ってきた。あれはあいつ個人が持っている。
I feel like this association has ruined his life, if I'm gonna be honest. I really don't know why though, I just kinda get that instinct. No, not at all. That word just entered my brain when I made contact with Mamiya Takuji. It was a memory that he had.
とりあえず間宮拓司は2012年7月20日に世界が滅びると信じてる。
Anyway, Mamiya Takuji believes that the world will be destroyed on July the 20th, 2012. And funnily enough, he doesn't believe that in the good ending of Looking Glass Insects. It's all because of delusion.
そしてその日の境目、19日に空に全てを返さなければいけないと考
Yeah,
え
before it all
て、
gets destroyed. And on the border of that day, on the 19th, he thinks he has to return it all to the sky.
空に返すってなんだ。
What does returning something to the sky mean?
友実は知ってるよ、その意味。
Yep. You know what it means, Tomosane. Oh my god. Is that... Let's see if we can get a analysis on that image now. Okay, this is fucking weird. Who is this? Hang on a second, what? Is it me or this looks like Hasaki? Or maybe it's someone else, I don't know. That's really unusual. They look like they're in some sort of, I don't know, maid or school uniform. No, they look like a school uniform. Yeah, there's the tie there, I think. And the collar. Weird colour of the moon there. Who is that, though? Imagine if that's Kotomi. If anything, it kind of looks like Tsukasa in a way. Just how the head is shaped. Sorry, not the head, sorry, the hair. Funnily enough, she does use... Well, I'm assuming it's a she, I don't know. But whoever this person is, they have a knife that looks very similar to the knife Takuji used to kill Tomosane with. Weird. What was that just now?
空に
Trauma.
返すはそのままの意味。空に返す。まあ鳥みたいに飛べれば空にも届くかもしれないけど。
Returning to the something to the... Returning to the something. I really just said that. Returning something to the sky means exactly that. Returning it to the sky. Really? I never knew that. Yeah. Well, if those people could fly like birds, maybe they'd make it to the sky. But they can't. The only thing is returning to the sky always implies
転
death.
落して
They fall.
死ぬ。
Yeah, and die.
全てをって言ってたが、全てって
Good point, yeah. You said returning everything, but what does that really mean? One of those, solipsism beliefs. The fact that everything you perceive around you... Well, no, the entire world that is created for you and your definition of everything is created based on the five senses that you perceive. So I suppose everything that is a part of those five senses, that everything that affects your life actively, i.e. the people in your cult. You said returning everything, but what does that truly mean? Or, I mean, the only people he returned are the ones who are pure. Pure! In other words, the people who are, who have transcended all of the lies in the world and all of the impurities that are present within the world that they live in. The people who have risen above those, in massive quotation marks. But, well, no, nobody said that. It's just I wanted to use that as a means of contradicting the meaning. But, yeah. Returning everybody who has fallen prey to us. I mean, well, to his manipulative practices, really.
予言だと多くの人って話だけど、多くって主
Yeah,
観だか
exactly.
ら
A great number of people doesn't necessarily mean
と
all
りあえずで
people.
きる限りの人間を空へ返す気なのは確かだな。
Yeah. Yeah, everything, i.e. everything you can. According to the prophecy, it's a great number of people, but a great number of people is entirely subjective. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Either way, I'm sure that he wants to return as many people to the sky as he can.
その多くの人間って葉崎は含まれてないんだよな。
Well, where did Tsukasa go? Genuinely, I wonder what happened to Hasaki. She probably suicided, let's be honest here. But we can never tell. Hasaki isn't supposed to be one of those people, is she?
さあ
Oh, yeah, I mean, she doesn't know. She doesn't know, of course not. But... well, then again, I mean, she can look into the thoughts of Takuji. And, I mean, we had a very, very good look into the thoughts of Takuji in It's My Own Invention. And, there wasn't really much about Hasaki. If anything, that version of Takuji completely denied Hasaki's existence anyway. I mean, why would you want to kill somebody you don't even have any recollection of the existence of? Where is Hasaki? Oh, wait, no. Hasaki has stayed at her mother's house. I really do wonder why. I think it's just because, firstly, Mamiya Takuji is coming to the house more, but secondly, Yuki doesn't even know who she is and mistakes her for Kagami and Tsukasa. Who knows?
さあって間宮拓司は葉崎を守るためにお前を作り
Yeah, that makes sense. What do you mean? Mamiya Takuji created you to protect Hasaki.
でもさそんな法則はもう壊れちゃったんじゃないの
But hasn't he already broken those laws?
その法則だったらあんたが間宮拓司にとどめを刺してなきゃいけないんだからさ
Yeah, and I suppose, yeah, those same laws say that you have to defeat Mamiya Takuji and strike him to the final blow.
だったら葉崎は間宮拓司にとって一番身近な人間は葉崎だ全ての人間を空に返す気ならまず
Then what about Hasaki? Hasaki is the closest person to him, so if he wants to return all humanity to the sky, then he would start with...
葉崎ちゃんが心配なの
God, yeah, are you worried about Hasaki-chan?
当たり前だろお前はどうなんだ
Of course I am, aren't you?
私の話なんてどうでもいいよあんたの意思を聞いてるのよ葉崎ちゃんを守りたいの
I'm not the one who has to decide. I'm asking about your intention. Do you want to... Yeah, interesting, that. Do you want to protect Hasaki-chan?
当たり前だ葉崎に何かあったら
Of course I do. If something happened to Hasaki...
そうなら葉崎ちゃんを守りなさい
So go protect Hasaki-chan.
守る俺
You
が
want me to protect her?
そうね正直言えば間宮拓司が葉崎ちゃんを殺そうとする可能性はゼロじゃないわ
That's right. To be honest, I don't think it's impossible that Mamiya Takuji might try to kill her.
それどころか殺そうとすると考えた方が
Yeah, he's a complete psychopath. I can totally see what she's thinking. Or it might be more logical to assume that he will.
なんだと何を悠長に
What? Why didn't you say that earlier?
でもまともに考えてみなよ彼が空に返すことを殺すんじゃなくてより良い世界に導く方法だと信じて
Yeah, and he could think of it as an act of kindness to his sister. But then again, I mean, he denies the existence of his sister. So why would he want to give that same act of kindness to somebody he completely denies? But then again, I mean, I'm sure he could, with his deluded mind, think of some sort of way to logically put it. But think it through. He doesn't think that returning to the sky means killing someone. He thinks it's a way to a better world.
カルトにはよくあるじゃない昔そういう事件があったらしいじゃん人を殺すのをポアだと言って悪いことじゃないって考えてたついてた
What? Cults spring up all the time. There was a famous cult in the 90s that thought it wasn't bad to kill people because killing people was just for. What does that mean? Transference of consciousness at the time of death. An advanced meditation practice which empowers a person to leave his or her body with physical will. Weird. That's sick.
なら葉崎は
Then what's going to happen to Hasaki?
まあもうすでに終わったことだから彼も満足してるかもしれないけど
Well, it's already ended, so maybe he's satisfied as is, but...
すでに終わった
Yeah.
なんだそりゃ
What do you mean? What's ended?
さあねどういう意味だろうとりあえずどっちにしろ
I wonder what that is.
ともさねあん
I mean, whatever has ended, it's clearly not something that can inhibit the potential to protect Hasaki. Because, I mean, if whatever Yuki is saying here was really, really threatening, I don't know whether she'd be asking Tomosane about protecting her.
Yuki お前は
Yuki, are you...
甘えるんじゃないいつまでも私を頼るなっつうの
Yeah, reasonable. I'm not coddling you anymore. You can't rely on me forever. Yeah, and I suppose in the most important time, which totally determines your future, doing something like this would not be the best because Tomosane has to prove himself in order to realise well, just in order to be able to rule over Takuji's personality. He is the person who was always defined as the person who destroys him. And I do wonder in Looking Glass Insects if... Well, no, it's totally what happens. Tomosane is the person who... Ironically, Tomosane destroys Takuji's personality, and then what happens is... Tomosane's personality is the only one that exists. But then again, I think Yuki probably... No. I remember talk about Tomosane and Yuki in Looking Glass Insects. Yeah. How about the twins as well? That was actually really quite weird. No, that does actually make sense. I must reread that line. Coddling?
そうだよあんたが葉崎ちゃんを守りたいと思うならあんた自身で守るのよ
That's right, if you want to protect Hasaki-chan, then you'll have to be the one to protect her. Yeah.
だってそうでしょあんたがこだわってた破壊者役やら調停者役やらのルールごとは消え去ったんだからさ
I mean, don't you get it? Those rules about the destroyer and the harmonizer. All that just got flushed down the toilet. Well, yeah, I suppose so, because the creator is becoming the destroyer of both the harmonizer and the destroyer.
とりあえず守るといった意味では今現実世界に戻るという方
It
法は
really is a war between personalities. Yeah, if you want to protect her, the best thing you can do is go back to the real world. Yeah, I can see
今
that.
現実に戻ると言っても
You want me to go back?
例えば葉崎ちゃんを間宮拓司の手の届かない安全な場所に逃がすとかさ
Yeah, for instance, you can get Hasaki-chan to a safe place where Mamiya Takuji can't reach her.
まあ遠くの場所まで行かなくても白州教のマスターに保護してもらってたら問題ないんじゃない
Well, you don't have to go too far. Wouldn't she be safe if you asked Master at Hakushukyo to protect her?
保護
Yeah, I'd say so.
マスターに
Master could protect her?
それが望みなら今すぐに現実に帰ればいいさ葉崎ちゃんとも会えるし彼女を守るだけならそれの方が確実だ
Yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah, if that's what you want to do, then you should go back right now and you'll get to see Hasaki-chan again too. But what if she's where Kotomi is at the moment? That's my question. If you're intent on protecting her, that's the best way.
だが それは一つの選択肢に過ぎない。
Yeah.
そうなんだろう。
But that's the only choice, is what you're saying.
そうだね。
さっき言ったなユキ。どちらかが望んだから俺たちはこの世界にいる。明晰夢という世界に。
Earlier you said that we're here because of at least one of us wanting to be here, right? Here in the world of a lucid dream.
そうだよ。
That's right. This world appeared because either Yuki or I wished for it. I was struck by the impulse to just ask Yuki, were you the one who wished for it? But I couldn't. Yeah, so you've got to rely on it. You've got to rely on yourself in order to figure out the answer. And I'm thinking that maybe it could be the case that Tomosane had wished for this because this dream offers a means of being able to resist against Takuji and also being able just to have more realistic perspectives about what you need to do in order to prevent the disaster, really. That'll just be relying on Yuki again. That's right, the one who wanted this world to exist. Yeah.
俺が望んだ。だからここに俺はいる。
いい答えだ。
That's a good answer. Then why did I want this dream? A lucid dream, a kind of world I could control. Well, because obviously he wanted that world to happen in... Well, he wanted a type of world like this to happen in the real world, really. What I wanted. To return from this place to the real world. To spend the rest of my time I have left of Hasaki. Yeah, it sounds reasonable. To protect Hasaki, to accept the same fate as Mamiya Takuji. To return to the sky. In other words, to die. The other choice.
Yuki. 夢を操作できるってどういうことだ。
Yuki, we said we can manipulate the stream. What did you mean? She seems mischievous. Yeah, didn't I just tell you about the lucid dream structure and how to have one?
いや違う。脳のどのような働きが明晰夢を生むかじゃなくて、明晰夢の操作、やり方。
No, that's not what I mean. I'm asking not how to induce one, but how to control it.
例えば剣豪伊藤一等斎がその妙義発射塔その海岸の逸話
Something like this. Have you heard the story about one of the swordsmen, Itosai? What a name. Itosai. Learned from his famous technique, the annihilating blade.
一等斎は自らに恨みを持つ女とそれとは知らずに一夜を共にしてしまう
Itosai unwittingly spent the night with a woman who bore him a grudge.
彼が寝静まったのを確認して彼女は一等斎の枕元の刀を隠し十数人にも及ぶ刺客を部屋に招き入れる
What the fuck? Once he fell asleep, she hid a blade under his pillow and then beckoned dozens of assassins to come into his room.
絶体絶命の一等斎だがこの状況下で眠りの中で敵の攻撃を避け気がつくとこの妙義に開眼していたという
Is this real? What the fuck? That sounds ridiculous. Itosai was a hair's width away from death, but even in his sleep he evaded his opponent's blades, and before he even awoke he mastered the new technique. I'm just curious if this is real. Oh, I see. Yeah. I mean, it sounded like it. I was just curious if... Yeah. I searched, but I didn't really find much that was on the subject. I suppose this is just an urban legend that is totally fabricated then. But that story is bullshit.
だが一等斎には他に無双剣という火立ちもあるこれは無意識に敵を切るというもの
But Itosai already possessed a secret technique called the Dream Blade. It was said to allow him to unconsciously cut his enemies down.
明晰夢無意識下で脳の一部だけを覚醒させ夢を操作する大昔の剣豪の境地その影を明晰夢に見出すってわけかい
A lucid dream, waking only one part of the brain up during unconsciousness and controlling your dream. When we invoke the mental state of the great swordsman of the past, we enter a lucid dream. Is that what you mean?
あああくまでも直感だが
友さね、いい答えだ。
That's a good answer, Tomosane.
なるほど。あんたは夢の中でしか得られない境地、明晰夢の中に自らの活路を見出すわけか。
Oh yeah, now I see it, yeah. I suppose what you could think about the swordsman is Itosai. What he did was... That's just so weird though. In the lucid dream, he unconsciously cuts his enemies down. So he practices the means of control and the means of doing everything that he would normally need to apply in the present. And then he just casually applies it in the present when his life is in danger and it actually works. That's so weird to think about the fact that that's actually something possible. But, I mean, while the story is nonsense, these people, they don't exactly have real bodies. They all share the same body. It's just a question of whose personality can win over the others. So I suppose it could realistically happen. I don't know. But then again, I mean, I suppose training your mind and finding a mental state that makes it so that you can, well, so that you, outside of your dreams, you can be the person who is very, very advantaged. Yeah, I see. So you want to find a mental state that eludes you outside of your dreams. You think there might be an answer here in the lucid dream?
お前いつか言ってただろ。意識下にありながらマミやタクジや俺の行動を感じることができるって。
Yeah, didn't you say that Mamiya Takuji could sense my movements even when he wasn't conscious?
意識下にありながら起きている時と同じように世界の動きを知る。
Even when he's out like a light, he still knows what's going on in the world, just as if he was... Yeah, that's interesting. I see.
なんだ、何がおかしい。
What's so funny?
いやだってさ、常識から考えたら私の明晰夢がそんな大剣豪と同じ境地なわけないじゃん。伊藤一等祭って戦国時代なんて物騒な時代で真剣でバンバン切り合って一度も負けなかった人だぜ。
Oh, come on, use your common sense. There's no way my lucid dream could ever be the same as the famous swordsman's. Itoi Dosai was said to have never lost a duel in his life. Yeah, and that was during the violence of the Sengoku period.
それはそうなんだが。
That's true, but...
だいたいさ、私の能力なんて肉体を共有している他の人間の意識を探るって程度のもんだし。
Besides, the best I can do with my powers is watch the other two people in the same body.
だとしてもそれが難しい。俺には全く理解できない。
Still, that's hard. I don't understand it at
そ
all.
れに俺が戦うのは剣豪でも剣聖でも達人でもない。
And the person I'm fighting is not a master, an expert, a virtuoso.
俺が戦うのはマミやタクジ。お前が言うところの
Yeah.
肉体を共有している他の意識だ。
The one I'm fighting is Mamiya Takuji. As you put it, one of those other people in the same body.
そいつにだけ有効であるなら他の連中に意味がなくても手に入れる価値がある境地だ。
If this mind state will help me beat him, there's value in acquiring it. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, even if it's useless against anyone else.
まあマジレスすると明晰夢に限らず夢の時間感覚はデタラメ。夢の中で感じる1時間は
Oh yeah, that's
現
really
実の数
good.
分に当たったりする。
Just so you know, in all dreams, including lucid dreams, your perception of time gets messed up. What feels like an hour to you in a dream might be a few minutes in reality. Yeah, that's really good.
「大剣豪様と同じ境地とはいかないけど、こと自分と肉体を共有している人間に対しては明確に現実の体感時間を変化させることができる。
It's not the same as the Master Swordsman's techniques, but You can clearly affect the amount of time the other personalities are conscious. Yeah. You can affect the amount of strength your chosen personality has. Yeah. Oh, I see that.
ということは
Which means
ちゃんとその境地に至ることができれば、あるいは間宮拓司を倒すこともできるかもしれない。
if you acquire the right mind state, you might be able to defeat Mamiya
勝
Takuji.
てるのか
Could I win?
ちゃんと得得できたらだよ。でもそんな簡単なもんじゃないよ。
Only if you really understand it, but it's not a simple thing to learn.
分かっている簡単で
It's
ない
still
ことは
worth it. I know that it's not simple.
なるほどね。変わってないんだね。あんたは。
I see. You haven't changed a bit, have you?
変わってない
Haven't changed?
いやー、単なる独り言さ。さてと、これがユキ姉の最後の教授だ。
Oh, I'm just talking to myself. Alright, this is Yukine's final lesson.
あんたが全てを乗り越えるため、最後の最後であんたが勝つため。
So that you can overcome everything. So that at the end of it all, you will win. We know different. I wonder what goes wrong.
手合いをしてやんよ。
Oh my god, we'll have a match.
私でもできなかった。あの最後の時のため。
What even I could do for the sake of those final moments. Yeah, did Yuki just say something? Maybe she's upset about her powerlessness. Oh shit, so we're going. Right, this is going to be interesting. Huh.
どうだ？驚いた顔して。
What's wrong? Why so surprised? What was that? I didn't see her hit me at all. How?
何？今ので驚いてるの？
Was she that fast? Fucking hell, what was it that surprising?
驚いてるも何も今の一撃
I'm more than just surprised. That attack just now.
何？予測ができなかった？
What, you couldn't see it coming?
ああいつもみたいな感じが全くなかった
Yeah, it didn't feel normal at all.
何言ってるの当たり前じゃん。ここは夢の中だよ。
Fair. What are you talking about? Of course it didn't. This is a dream. How are you meant to fight back against it, though?
肉体を共有している同士での見切りは筋肉に伝達された電気信号のタイムラグで反応するってことでしょ。
In order for two people in the same body to read each other's moves, they would have to react after the electrical impulses were sent to the muscles in their body, right?
おう。
肉体に伝達する必要なんてないんだからタイムラグなんてあるわけないじゃん。
Yeah, no, that's reasonable. There's no real need for us to send those signals to the real body, so there will be no time lag to react to.
つまりタイムラグによる攻撃回避は不可
Yeah,
能。
no, I do see that actually. Yeah. Yeah, no, I see that.
どうだろうね。まああんたから攻撃してみなよ。
You think? Try attacking me. Ooh, what's gonna happen? Oh shit. Oh god, she's just becoming a Toho player.
不思議だね。タイムラグがないのだから攻撃の先読みはないはず。つまり当たるはず。
That's odd that it hasn't. Weird, huh? I should be able to read your moves since there's no delay. In other words, that should have hit. But
に
it
もかか
still
わらず
didn't.
あんたの攻撃は当たらない。でも私からの攻撃は避けられない。
And yes, it didn't hit. Plus, you can't even dodge my attacks. Oh god! Oh my god, you keep kicking as well. Damn.
「おかしいね。なぜか攻撃は当たらない。防御もできない。
Weird, huh? You can't hit me at all, and you can't defend yourself. Yeah. Yeah, what's going on? She's just blocking your mind. Maybe that's a really good trick. What's going on? She's not just reacting to my movements. It's like she's predicting them all beforehand.
さてと、実際に体で覚えなきゃね。これからが本格的な試練だよ。
Alright, you'll have to remember it by the pain in your body. The real training starts now. Oh shit, what's going on?
何疲れてるのよ。夢の中で疲れるわけないでしょ。
That is actually a good point, yeah, but then again, I mean, your brain is contemplating a ridiculous amount, even if it is a dream. I don't blame him. I really don't. You're tired already. How can you be tired in a dream? Shut up. Damn it, Yuki's right. Why am I breathing hard? This is just a dream.
なんだよ。全然ダメだな。ユキ姉はがっかりだぞ。
Come on, you can do better than that. I'm disappointed. God, what a trainer. She will motivate him, though. She really will, now that I think about it. Why is Yuki so strong? Yeah, what does she do? And why can't you read her moves, even though you are part of a person who is in the same head as you? She should be as strong as I am. Maybe it's because this is a dream? No, in that case.
何雑念出してるんだよ。ダメだな。
What are you spacing out for? That's no good. Oh, fuck. Ooh,
なんだよ
did Tomosane get a
雑だ
hit?
な。見てて攻撃食らってるじゃんかよ。
Oh
ダメ
my
になってるじゃん。
Now you're just getting sloppy. You're letting me hit you with both hands.
そう。
Damn. My attacks couldn't hit her. She avoided them all without difficulty. Why? Yeah. Yeah, since this is a battle in a dream world where our bodies don't really exist, there's no delay between our brain and our muscles. because we don't have physical bodies here. Ooh. Yeah, how can I feel pain in a dream? I read it in a book that you can hear, feel, taste and smell in a dream. Yeah, but it's supposed to be impossible to feel pain in a dream. So why am I feeling pain? What is pain? God, he really doesn't know how to fight. But then again, I mean, he is thinking a lot. Maybe he is going to find a point at which he reaches enlightenment. I don't know. I collapse, falling to the ground. Even in the dream, it hurt to breathe. My entire body hurts. Why? Oh yeah, bully him. Totally get him back on his feet. I see what she's doing. I didn't think you were that dim, Tomosane. Oh shit, at this rate you're going to run out of time. I'm going to run out of time? Yeah, good point. Yeah, if I lose consciousness here, I might never wake up again. Yeah. If this lucid dream ends, there will be nothing left for me except the end. I won't be able to... Yeah, totally. Oh my god, that's motivated him. Shit, did she... She still didn't get hit. Yeah. Oh my god, totally. Being reckless won't help you now. If this was the real world, I could beat you just by breaking your body, right? Yeah, no, fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. A battle between minds. A battle happening between two minds. That's right, it hurt so bad, but it wasn't the real world. The world existed only in our minds. Yeah. The pain I was feeling was only created by my mind. Only my mind. Now that you've abused your body and gotten yourself all beat up, do you understand? Or is this all going to end before you figure it out? Was there something I was supposed to understand from abusing my body? Yes. Because that's what you're meant to understand. That the truth is I wasn't abusing my body at all. Then why did my body hurt so much? I think it's just because of how he's perceiving it. So much. It still hurt. That's unusual though, it really is. Why did it hurt? It hurts to breathe. Oh, she's happy. Yeah. Mysteriously, Yuki smiled. Why? Was that the answer? The pain of breathing. Is that the answer? The reason it hurts to breathe in my dream is because... Because in this state of half-wakening, the mind mistakes the sleeping body for a waking one. In other words, it's the same as sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis. Yeah, no, I see that. Only subjective time exists in a dream. Yeah. If you believe that my attacks are unbelievably fast, then they will be. I've heard that Yuki's attacks were fast. Yeah. Not just fast, unavoidable. Like my body was submerged in lead. God. Yeah, no, I can see that. Like, yeah. It's like my body is made of lead. Yeah, this mental world only has subjective time. Think about what it means that we're in a lucid dream. Oh shit, here we go. Yuki's attacks were terrifyingly fast. They were ridiculously fast, but somehow I had started to see them with my eyes. But... Ooh. Oh god, he's getting better though. But I couldn't dodge it. Yuki's fist struck me in the chest. Dull pain flowed from my breast. The shock from the blow sent me sprawling backwards several steps. Next. It was a straight punch. The hardest strike to dodge. Oh, yeah, good point, yeah. But this time I could follow its trajectory with my eyes. Then I realised for the first time. The sound of her fist cutting through air was stretched out, and everything I saw appeared to be in slow motion. Yuki's attacks weren't fast, I was just very slow. I took another punch, unable to dodge it. Pain ran through my body. But I noticed that the pain also seemed to spread more slowly. Everything was slower. That's right, Yuki wasn't particularly fast to begin with. What I hadn't realised before was how slow I was. After the attack, time sped up to normal speed again. In the moment when Yuki attacked, no, when either of us attacked, time slowed down to a crawl like we were underwater. Yeah, that's interesting. It was just like a dream. Yeah. That's right, this is a dream after all. This is a dream. I felt slow because it's a dream. Yeah. My opponent was moving at normal speed, but my own body would hardly move. Something very common. And I assumed the reverse of that common occurrence. I didn't think I was slow. Yeah. I just thought that Yuki was very fast. But that's not the truth. This happens all the time in dreams. Gosh, she's a proper tester. She can read every single one of our thoughts. That's right, it happens all the time in dreams. So what are you going to do about it? Oh my god, Yuki attacked again. The sound of her attack was slowly transmitted to me. Her fist moved forward. Yuki wasn't fast, I was slow. Even knowing that, there was nothing I could do to react. I misunderstood the truth, but the result was the same either way. Yuki's attacks hit and mine missed. No matter how hard I tried to push my body, it wouldn't move fast enough. interesting. Quite the opposite. The more I thought about it, the slower my body got. The next one struck me in the face. Then a thought occurred to me. This getting punched really hurts. I expected the dull pain to erupt in my cheek. And when I thought that, the pain stopped and disappeared.
明晰夢。それはあんたは極めたいんでしょ?
You want to master the lucid dream, right? Master it? I was trying to learn about lucid dreams from Yuki. Yeah, but they're interdependent, really. Learn one, learn the other. You have to. My skills hadn't atrophied to the point where I needed lessons from Yuki. Yeah, and of course my martial prowess couldn't be inferior to Mamiya Takuji's either.
明晰夢。そうか。そういうことか。
Lucid dream. I see. So that's what it is. Found a simple answer. The most natural answer.
これは明晰夢なんかじゃない。
This isn't a lucid dream.
これはただの夢だ。
This is just a dream.
いや、中途半端に覚醒した状態。どちらかといえば金縛りの状況に
This
近い。
is really unusual. It took a turn that I wasn't expecting whatsoever. No, since I'm partially awake, maybe it's closer to sleep paralysis.
なぜならば。
Which means Yuki moved to attack me again. I didn't dodge the attack. I didn't run. I moved straight forward to meet her fist. A lucid dream isn't just a dream that you recognise as a dream. It's a dream that you recognise for what it is, so that you can control it. Which means I can alter the dream as I wish. He said that there was a tribe in Southeast Asia that had trained themselves in the art of lucid dreaming since ancient times. It's unusual because I thought that was what Yuki told him. Oh. Okay, never mind. That technique involved recognising a dream for what it was. For instance, the tribe members would talk about their dreams with each other when they were awake. Oh yeah, that's reasonable. And that reminds me of Wittgenstein a lot. By talking about them, the dreams became encoded in language, assuming a form that could be more easily grasped and understood. And then there was one thing they had to do when they realised it was a dream. That one thing was simply not running away. Most lucid dreams are born of nightmares. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. A nightmare happens when a person creates an embodiment of their anxiety in a dream. And then they fear the nightmare. No, in truth, it is that embodiment of terror within the nightmare which they fear. Oh shoot. Oh my god, you've got to be kidding me. So after this realization, Tomosane is able to beat Yuki. Yuki's attack didn't even graze me, cutting through the empty air. Oh yeah, Yuki's fucked. I moved to hit her while she was open. I clenched my fist. No hesitation. I might not hit. I might be powerless. Those are all thoughts that you cannot have. Genuinely, I might not win. Eliminate all doubt. All I could think of in that moment. My fist will find its mark. Oh, there we go. God, my fist slammed into Yuki's cheekbone. There was no pain in my fist. Yuki was blown away just like that. Yuki! Says you. You started it, you can't complain at all. Hey now, take it easy. Sorry. Alright, yeah, I'll finish this scene, we'll analyse it more tomorrow. Why not? Sorry. Jeez. Oh yeah, that's funny. Then she rubbed her cheek and her split lip healed back to normal. And that's that.
なるほど。俺は今の今まで明晰夢を見ているつもりだったわけか。
I see. So I was trying to have a lucid dream until now.
そういうことだ。
That's right.
だったら、これまでの夢は
Then what about the dream up until now?
もちろんあんたの夢だよ。でももちろん私の夢でもある。私たちが意識上で出会った時に行っていることを無意識化、夢の中でやっただけだよ。
Yeah, no, that does make sense. And obviously, Tomosane has been able to beat Yuki as
夢の
well.
中でやっただけ
そういうこと。私たちが現実世界で出会う時、もちろんそれは現実でも何でもない。この世界と同じ。意識の世界のことでしかない。
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
すべての脳が動いている状況だから、それをどうしてもたかだか意識の中の戦いだと認識できない。でも実際は同じなんだよ。私たちの世界はね、強く思った方がそのイニシアチブを取る。
Yeah, totally.
あんたは間宮拓司がこの意識世界のゲームマスターで、私たちはプレイヤーに過ぎないとか考えてるみたいだけど、大間違い。
Gotta love the Umineko reference, or at least it feels like one.
実際は誰がこの意識を支配するゲームマスターかなんて決まっていない。強く思った方に現実が傾くに過ぎない。だからあんたは明晰夢を望んだ。間宮拓司をゲームマスターの座から引き下ろすために。
Yeah.
待て。ならなぜ明晰夢を使えるお
To
前
be fair,
は
that is a
間
good
宮拓司を
question.
抑えられないんだ。
だからさ、今やって分かったでしょ。明晰夢ってさ、強く思うこと、恐怖に打ち勝つこと。私はね、夢や意識の世界は操作できるけど、現実世界までも自分で操作できるとは思ってない。
現実世界すら操作できる。
今間宮拓司は確実に自分の意志で世界すら動くと信じてる。だって彼は自分が神の化身だと思っているから。
神の化身？
そう、彼はある地点から意識世界どころか世界すべてが自分の意志に従うと感じてる。そんな人間に私の意志なんて叶うわけないでしょ。
そうなのか。でも
何？勝てないと思うならやめておきなよ。断言するけど、そんな心が少しでもあるんなら絶対に勝てないよ。
絶対に勝てない。
うん。
お前言ってたよな。
何が？
あいつの力が強まっているからこれが最後だって。
うん、そうだよ。
それ当たらないわ。
え？
俺間宮との戦いの前に葉崎に会いに。
Oh, this will be interesting.
ってそれ無理だって。だってそろそろ。
浮上する瞬間。
The fuck? Oh my god, that's a... What the fuck? Okay, so it clearly seems like Tomosane is waking up in... I mean, okay, it's fitting for him to wake up in this scene, but yeah, I kind of just witnessed Futanari Ayana. I never want to see that again in my life. Isn't that really funny? We just saw a little bit of the taste of what the fuck Takuji is seeing, experienced through Tomosane's eyes. Very sudden end to that scene. Oh, that was really, really good. I can't wait to fully unpack that scene tomorrow as well. Holy fuck, what an eventful scene, and what an interesting scene as well. And my god, I just find it so interesting to think about what Tomosane is going to do, and also what Ayana also is going to have a role in. I'm really quite excited to see that, but in general, I just thought it was a really interesting idea, and I love how they've used the idea of lucid dreaming just in order to make it so that it feels Tomosane is... Well, no, just to strengthen the idea of the fact that Tomosane is just completely dipping down to a low level where his fears are the only thing that he prioritizes, really. And I just thought it was so satisfying seeing that progression of how Yuki was moving unbelievably fast, something that he couldn't possibly punch even if he tried. But then the more time progressed, the more he could also conquer the fears, really, and the more everything worked. God, it was cool. It really was. And I do wonder what's going to happen next, and I wonder, because the thing is about Tomosane here, though, I mean, obviously Yuki seems like he has transcended everything and that he has gone through the best possible training from Yuki, the all-knowing Yuki, the one who can never exist in the real world, only in people's subconscious. But the weird thing is, I mean, we know that Tomosane loses because of the fact that Takuji stabs himself. But the thing is, he's nearly winning. It's just, I think Takuji's so confident of what he's seeing that this happens. I don't know. I'm really excited to see how this scene's going to change. I really am. So, yeah, see you guys then.